Here we go. Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone. Hope y'all are doing well. Drew is here for those inquiring minds that want to know. Apologies yesterday for how abruptly we ended the show. Oddly enough, we were talking about how Drew was running away and I had his feeding bag on him. And man, it'd been bad if he had run out of that because we pulled out his feeding tube, and then he was cuddling with me yesterday, and I sat on the extension and yanked out his tube. So we had to end abruptly yesterday to go fix that. Anyway, good morning. Hey, you can tell Drew's here already, and he thinks this is so funny. Yeah. All right, see you later, bud. All right, we'll say our good mornings here. Mary, hey, Mary, good morning. Val, Chuck, Leroy, Cole, Devin, good morning. Hal, good morning. Car. Hey, Kyle, thanks for asking. Yeah, he's fine. It's just whenever that happens, and it happens more. Hey, don't touch. It happens more often than. No, don't touch. Don't touch. I don't want to touch. No, don't touch the screen, buddy. But yeah, he's doing fine. It happens more often than you'd like for it to happen, obviously, but it just happens. It's a thing, so it's just a nuisance, and you have to attend to it. Okay, let's see if that's better. Okay, here we go. Whew. All right, let's see. Cole, good morning. Tim, good morning. Josh, Brandon Reshoe, Bob Kubrick, good morning, y'all. Hey, Dad, good morning. Dennis Romig, Bobby, good morning. George, Drew's key grip, gaffer, and lead camera. He kind of is. Drew is dominating this broadcast from now on. Paul Hood, good morning. Let's see. Yeah, good morning, Drew. Of course, you too, man. Thanks, Aunt Mary. I appreciate that. Hey, Jason Meeks, good morning. Scott Borch, good morning. Tell you what, it was Sunday, kind of thankfully, was a quiet day. The Saints practiced. They had a training camp. The good news there is that Marcus Davenport was back again. So that sort of continues to underscore what Sean Payton said, that that they expect him to play this week in week 3 of the preseason, which I'm excited to see him. You know, you give up all those assets to move up and get a guy, 14th overall, or wherever they took him, 14th or 16th overall. I'm anxious to see him and see what he might do. But it's a long-term investment, obviously. I'm not worried about his first preseason, but I am anxious to see him. So here's hoping we do get to see Marcus Davenport this year. So if y'all want to fire away with questions, what? Car. Cow car. Now, the other thing Drew's into now is this old episode. I told you he watches Wheel of Fortune. We found this old episode with a guy named Robert. And Robert's a squirrely-looking guy. No disrespect to people that are squirrely-looking. And he dominated. He won like $76,000. He won every round. And Drew's obsessed with this because there's no wrong buzzers or anything like that. So, anyway. So he keeps going, awa, for Robert. So, you watching Robert? Do you like to watch Robert? Cow. Car. I'm very proud of you how you're pronouncing cow. That's very good. I can actually understand him. It's really good. All right. Let's see. So, we'll get to y'all's questions here. Thought we were going to get the stash. You know what, man? I thought about it. Actually, I just didn't. I didn't have time to get it all done. So, it was a little bit of a rush this morning to get this in. Mondays are different for us because we have our Monday morning meeting up at work. So the whole, everybody in our whole building meets at 9 a.m. So it's like I got to make sure Drew's done, hand it off to mother-in-law so I can get in the car going. Today's the first day of LSU's class, so I know it's going to be a busy day. So all right, let's get cranking. Y'all got questions? Fire away. Jason, good morning. David Wall, Rick, good morning as well. Bobby, good morning. Jason Hatcher. Kyle, Drew demands perfection from his contestants. He kind of does, man. He hates the buzzers. Hey, Ray, good morning. Good to see you there. Matthew, Ryan, good morning. Devin, Kelly, how about your boy Drake Davis? So we talked about Drake this weekend. What's up, Lil C? We talked about Drake Davis this weekend. For me, I think LSU handled this exactly right. It was an LSU official who reported it to LSU police. The girl, the accuser, did not go to police. She reported to an LSU official. The LSU official learned of it and went to police, which is exactly the right thing to do. And I said this yesterday, I'll reiterate it again. Consider if someone within LSU's athletic administration had found out and not reported it, and then it came out at a later date. You basically have the Urban Meyer situation. You just have to report things now. Not that it was ever okay not to, but I think there are some in Baton Rouge, and when I say some, I mean people of influence. I don't think that doesn't happen in a small town. That would have liked for this to have been quietly swept away. I don't think it's possible, especially if there's a text message that exists with Drake Davis saying, "I might kill you." If that exists, which clearly it does, otherwise the district attorney, Hiller Moore is gonna have an interesting decision, because you've got eyewitnesses, you've got the text message, to not prosecute. I mean, what are you doing? So we'll see what happens there. On the field, I mean, Drake Davis. I mean, let's just count it out on the field, right? Giles, Jefferson, Chase, Marshall, Stephon Sullivan. Drake is probably your sixth wide receiver. Now, he's the guy, run go routes, get out wide and just take the top off. But, I mean, it's not like he's your dude. It's not like he's your guy. Physically, he could be. He just hasn't lived up to it. Let's see. Carrie, what's this morning Scone going to be like 2 weeks from today? Be the day after the LSU Miami game. What's going to be interesting about that, Carrie? So, of course, I've told y'all before, T-Bob and I are doing pregame, and then Jordy and I are doing whiskey and wine. So basically, I'll be on, is that a 7 o'clock kick or 6, whatever time it is? I'll be on 5 hours prior to kickoff, leading up to kickoff. Watch the game. As soon as the game ends, Jordy and I will be doing whiskey and wine. So let's say the game ends around 11. Jordy and I will do whiskey and wine, or 10. Jordy and I will be doing whiskey and wine from 10 to 11:30. I'll go to bed, wake up, and do this the next morning. I love football season. I'm interested, Carrie. I all along I've picked LSU to win that game. I reserve the right to change my mind based on information we gather over the next 2 weeks, because at this rate, LSU's probably going to lose more players. They lost 5 already in camp. It's crazy. Hey, David Babin, good morning. Brian Wynn, good morning. Cole, what's the word that you're getting about the corner opposite Greedy? Her Joseph had a great camp. Manny, how's he doing? So Kelvin Joseph does not have a great camp. Kelvin Joseph had an awesome scrimmage this past weekend, and that gave him a lot of hope to think that he might be coming along. I'll give you a sort of tempered version to say true freshman, safety, converting to corner, starting week 1 against the top 10 team, not ideal, but I think they're optimistic about Kelvin Joseph. And Manny Netherly apparently has caught on faster than anybody thought, and mostly they like him because of his build. He's 6'3", he's that long corner, and a lot of times receivers, with corners, you have to be able to change direction quickly, right, with your hips. Because you're in a back pedal, you have to turn your hips and get upfield. And apparently he's done that very well. So they're optimistic about Manny. They are. If you made me pick right now, I think Kerry Vincent starts. But I think they're going to play a lot of guys. And I've said, I think, especially when there's a physical mismatch, they're going to go a lot of zone. Bo Major, good morning. Darren Pellegrin, good morning. John Capone, good morning. By the way, Darren, owner of Boudreaux's, who had a booth at the Taste of Tiger tailgating on Saturday. Check out a photo gallery from here. You'll see that. Hey, bud. Hi. What? What? No, we're not going to. You want me to hold you? Well, I did this yesterday, and then I pulled out your button. I don't want to do that again. You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? You want to say good morning? Let's say good morning and answer some questions for some people. Bye. No, we're not going to say bye. We just said hi to these people. Let's see. How did the O-line do against the defense's last scrimmage? Good question, Stephen. Of course, that was a big concern after the first one. Hi. Hey, are you watching Robert? You're watching Robert. Oh, what? Go watch Robert. Robert. Okay, I'll see you later. Here you go. Going to watch Robert. So Steven, offensive line did better. It does come with a caveat that Ogeron told the edge rush, like the defense, like scale back on the pass rush. So he didn't want Chasson basically destroying everything. At some point, like, you've got to be able to let your guys get reps, right? Like good reps and run through things. So they called off the pass rush, which helped for sure. Robert. Robert. That's hilarious. That's a nerdy guy who won Wheel of Fortune. All right. Hey, John Capone, good morning. Did the O-line really look and perform much better in the second scrimmage? Yeah, so we just kind of talked about that, Cole, but probably a little bit of both. But for me, the biggest question is Lloyd Cushenberry. They said he played better this week. And that's, if you don't have Ed Ingram back, Lloyd Cushenberry has to be really good. He just has to be. Because if not, then you have the musical chairs continues, and Brumfield's got to play center. Like, to tell you how concerned they are about it, last week during practice, Brumfield took snaps at center. Like, looking at that as a very real possibility. And that was the first time he'd done it. Now, Brumfield said, when the media met with him, he said, I'm a guard. Like, I'm not a center. But he may have to be. And it's worked well in the past, for what it's worth. I remember Elliot Porter's a great example of that, a guy who came as a defensive lineman, switched to the offensive line, and then ended up playing center in, what season was that, 2012, maybe 13, and had a good year. So yeah, it can work out. They need Lloyd Cushenberry to be really good. Charlie Cavell, good morning from Shreveport. What's up, Charlie? Man, trying to get on up in Shreveport. Would love to do that. By the way, some good news about AFR. More and expansion. That's coming soon. I'll tell you about that as soon as I'm able. But it's a done deal. It's just a matter of when they'll let me say, okay, you can announce it. So stay tuned. Josh Long, man of the people. I try to be man of the people. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Jason, how do you say it? DeRoche? DESROCHES? DeRoche? Rick Houck, Savage and Hill definitely need work. Do you think Barrett could pull ahead of either? No. Rick, like point blank, absolutely not. I'll be curious to see if they keep JT Barrett on the practice squad, but absolutely not. He will not be a backup quarterback. He will not be Drew Brees' backup. It will be, and it won't be Taysom Hill either. It will be Tom Savage or someone who's not on the roster yet. So I will be very interested. Remember this. Every single year after the final cutdown day, when teams set their final 53, the very next day, guys get cut. Because his food's beeping. Inevitably what happens is guys get cut, you look around at other people's roster, and you go, oh, that's better than what I have. So you make a corresponding roster move and pick somebody up. So that may be a quarterback. That happened with Callahan from Green Bay. Sorry about that. Daddy duty. Let's see. Eric Sand, good morning. Devin Kelly, over under 900 rushing yards for Edwards. Elaire under. If you made me pick, I'd go 110 carries, 600 yards. That's right about 6 yards a carry. I think Clyde's got big play potential, so it'll probably skew that. Maybe 550, right in that range. If you made me pick, that's where I'd go. Tom Sandoz, good morning. Jason Gonzalez, any word on Ingram coming back? Nope. That's a tricky one, and I'm not going to disclose anything. I'm not going to be the one to report it because there's nothing tangible yet. So But no word on Ed Ingram yet. I'm hopeful for him, man, for the kid and for the team. But if you don't have him, that's a blow. That is. Joe and Bryant Hanno, you need to tell Flynn to head back to New Orleans. I don't think Matt Flynn wants to play, man. It was funny. We were talking to Matt a couple weeks ago when he was in studio with Hester, and he was saying, he's like, yeah, man, I went through yesterday, like for the first time in however long. He's like, guys, like I'm so sore. It's just, when you stop doing it every day and you stop training to do it every day, you're out, man. And Matt's very much out. Eric Goodrich, Joey Gibson, good morning. Bobby Muse, good morning. Let's see, what's the likelihood of Ingram getting back before the first game? Cole, I don't know how to put a percentage on that, man, because it's not something. It's not something. Robert just won, by the way. That's why he's happy. It's not something that like LSU or the NCAA can expedite. It gets addressed when it does, sort of thing. Meridoc, good morning. Is right tackle biggest concern? No, center. Absolutely center. I think Adrian McGee is a viable veteran, and I think at right tackle, and I think Austin Deculus can be a really good right tackle too. And if they have issues, you can always put a tight end over there. And you got Foster Moreau, and I know they're thin over there, but remember Aaron Moffitt's on the team as well. And I don't know that Aaron, it's Tommy's kid, who was a defensive end at Catholic. They converted him to tight end at LSU. I don't know that Aaron's ever going to be like a pass-catching threat, but if you need a physical kid to get on the line and move some bodies, Aaron's a strong kid and can do that. So if you need to give help, you can do that on the right side. Now that means Sadiq Charles at left tackle just needs to be a dude, which I think he will be this year, by the way. But you got to have a competent center who can make the calls, who can handle quarterback center exchange, cadence, procedure, all that stuff. All that matters a lot, and block a nose, and we'll see if Lloyd can do it. And if not, they got issues. The episode with Robert and hey Drew, you want Robert? You want Robert? We just keep watching the one with Robert over and over and over again. You want Robert? Hey, it's Robert. Hey. Do you want Robert? Okay. Robert. Oh no. Hey, Robert's on. Hey. Okay. Look, Daddy's back on his TV show. Hey, it's Oh, stop. You stop grabbing. Hey. Hey, listen. Listen. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Hang on. Hey, listen. Listen. We gotta do. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Use your words. Tell me what you want. Hey, use your words. Hey, Mommy? Mommy went to work. Okay. Hey, Drew, listen. Do you want Robert? I don't know what you're saying. Well, come here. Shh, baby, listen to me. Use your words. It's okay. Ernie. Pool. You want to put Ernie in the pool? Is that Drew? Is that Drew? Hey, listen, you're going to go and listen today. After your nap, Daddy will put you in the pool. We'll go swim, okay?
Mom.
More. Yes, we will.
Mom.
We'll go. Oh, Mimi's going to take you to the mall today. Yep. In just a little while, Mimi is going to come over and take you to the mall. And you can go ride the elevator. Yes. Sorry, y'all. Okay. You're hiding behind the bottles. You want to? Okay, you can sit with Daddy. Okay, let's answer some questions. Hey, Mimi's going to take you to Abilities tomorrow. Today, Mimi's going to come over and you're going to go to Mimi's house, and you're going to see Frosty and Art Show, and then go to the mall, and then see the big red truck. Yep, that's today. Okay. You okay? Oh, you okay? All right. Meredith, sorry about that, y'all. A little bit of a meltdown. My apologies. Good morning. Is right tackle the biggest concern? I think we just talked about that. Sorry. Why are you pushing my... I need to look at the screen so I can see their questions. Right side of the O-line worries me. I think with Damian, the right side, if it's Damian Lewis and Austin Deculus, I think you have two really good inline run blockers. Go see Robert. Robert. Oh, he sees. Now he's laughing. Okay. I think you have two really good inline blockers. You can be a right side running team. I think they'd be fine there. Lance, please be Lafayette. Not Lafayette, Lance, but listen on 98.1 HD2. Brandon Durr, good morning. Joey, good morning. Charlie. Alan Lesh. Elise Burgess, good morning. Hi. Oh, you want me to hold you? Okay, I'll hold you, baby. You can sit with Daddy. You can sit with Daddy, and we will. You were right. Hill was garbage. Rick, good job pronouncing my name, by the way. Rick, I've lived with it my whole life. I do my best to pronounce people's names right. Shouldn't you be working Drake? Working Drake? What do you mean working Drake? Joe Page, good morning. Darren, what's next for Fulton? Nothing really. His attorney said they could apply for a waiver through the SEC. The problem with that is if you play him, mall. Mimi's gonna take you to the mall. If you play him and abilities, and the NCAA continues deeming him ineligible, and you forfeit the games he plays in. That's the same issue with going to get a court. Hey, stop it, baby. Listen, it's okay. You don't want to go see Robert? Listen, come on. Shh. Listen. I don't know what's going on with him right now. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's see, Alan. Good morning, Matt. Sorry if I missed. Is Drake Davis reinstated? Alan, the allegations are not false. That's important to note. The district attorney is still investigating the case, and they have eyewitnesses and they have the text message. So careful with the allegations being false, how you term it. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, what's really going on with certain things. So, no, he's not been reinstated. And my feeling is, and will continue to be, if that text message exists where he says, I might kill you, he's done. You are gone. You've got to be, you can, and this is why I was disappointed with Ed yesterday or Saturday when he talked about it or refused to talk about it. At some point, and I'm not saying he had a comment specifically about Drake Davis. At some point, you have got to be willing to take a stand against certain behavior and say that is not ever in any circumstance, under any condition, acceptable. And it is never acceptable for a man to text a woman or anybody, I might kill you. Ever. That's not okay. Regardless of whether or not he actually broke her ribs or strangled her or ripped out her earring or all the other things that he's accused of doing, certain things point to others, and we can all be pretty rational about this and understand what's happening. But at some point, you've got to look at the situation and say that is not acceptable ever. That will never be acceptable and will never be tolerated. Maybe I'm just old school, or maybe I have morals. That's a good. Cole said, just because a victim changed their story doesn't mean it's false. Thank you. It's a very common thing dealing with abuse victim. He said, I work in first response. Law enforcement happens all the time. They're scared because of what might happen next to them. There you go. There's still a text message that says, I might kill you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brendan Morvant, Dorian Starkey, good morning. I guess I'm just getting these ones where you're seeing Drew upset. Sorry about that delay. John Robert Frank Sherman. Good morning, Matt Bowles. Doing a good job, Matt. Thanks, Rick. Kyle Scone, you're a great sportscaster, but it pales to your dad skills. Hey, man. I tell you what, man. Being a dad, like, it's given me endless perspective and patience. Like, some Miami fan was taunting me on YouTube in the comments, and I'm like, man, I just don't care. I want LSU to win every game. I mean, I went to school there. I love the school. I'm not even just talking about the athletic programs. Like, I love the school. I just had a phenomenal experience at LSU, taking classes there, working with administrators, and the academic counselors and advisors, and just walking through the quad, having lunch in the union. Like, I loved my LSU experience. I just loved it. I love the university, and I want them to win always. It's just like, if they don't, though, I just don't care. I'm not going to kick the dog anymore. There was a day I would have never kicked the dog, obviously, but where it would have ruined my night, but it's not anymore. But yeah, I mean, of course I want him to win. And of course, a big part of that is Drew, but a big part of that is my job too, where it's just, you have to force yourself to watch it just as a neutral observer instead of as a fan. Like, it's how you can condition yourself to be critical when you need to be critical. And sometimes you have to be, and that's the sucky part of the job, quite honestly. Bill, Lori, Danny, Chris, Mark, Troy, Kevin, Will. Good morning, y'all. We love you, Drew. Morning meltdown. Now, it was close to morning meltdown. Hey, we got about 10 more minutes. We'll shut down at 8 o'clock. I'll try to get to as many of these as I can. Kyle, we need to sell shirts and hats that have Drew grabbing the camera while smiling. Yeah, I wish y'all could see him do it, because he's on the other side. He's looking at me, and he's like faking like if this were the tripod, he's doing this, like looking at me like that's like he's waiting for me to reach for him, like he wants me to react. So it's cute but frustrating at the same time. Kevin, good morning. Bill, good morning. Trey Landry, Derek Hudnall. Good morning, Derek. Let's see. What other than the stats have you heard about the offense? Are we really worried, or is it just the case the offense a little bit to get going? So I heard the quarterback stats are concerning, obviously, but I heard there were 9 drops, and the issue was catching the ball in traffic. So, I mean, you got to make those plays, but it feels like that's fixable. It wasn't entirely a quarterback issue where they were just erratic. Like, they had, 9 drops is significant. So, I mean, Miles was 5 of 19, and Burrow was 10 of 24. So, even if you split the difference, 10 of 19 and 14 of 24 looks a whole lot better, right? I mean, just if you split them. So, anyway, that, and I heard Curry looked really good. Like, Ed talked about it, but they said he made some, I was talking to, Hester got to see it. And I'll take his perspective, his opinion, obviously, as a running back. I was talking, he said, look, Curry made some nice runs. I was like Fournette, like guys, like Hill, nice. He's like, no, we're not talking about that, but SEC running back, competent, which is good for a freshman, and you hope he grows into that role more. Craig, are you having any Miami beat reporters on? Yes, absolutely, Craig. And I tried last week after the news of George Brown's injury broke. It was just late in the day, and I couldn't work it up. But yet, probably today. I'm hopeful for that today, and then again next week on Thursday, the week of the game. Hey, Jesse Mapes, good morning. Jason, any word who's starting on the defensive line? Yeah, they like Fehoko at nose, and then you have Rashard Lawrence and Glenn Logan. Ed Alexander will rotate at the nose as well. As far as outside backers, Chasson and Divinity are your ones, and Ray Thornton, and they really like Trevez Moore out there as well. And then Andre Anthony will rotate in too. Let's see, Andrew. Drake Davis sickens me, not the person, but their behavior. True. It should never be acceptable. Ron the Sage, good morning. Yeah, no problem, Alan. I'm glad I could. Look, I get emotional about stuff like that. I think too often. I think just too often we tend to try to. We give too much rope in situations like this because of athletes or people of status or whatever, and I just don't think it's right. Anyway, let's see. We keep going. Brandon Rishu, Matt, I know you watched him at Catholic. Was Clyde the bell cow there? How many touches can he handle in the SEC? So it was different. Remember, at Catholic, Clyde had Darius for his first 3 years, and so then as a senior, Clyde was the guy. But there was in that season. I mean, I remember it was even in the state semifinals against Evangel, he didn't play. He got concussed and was out. And there was a question whether he'd play in the state championship against Rummel. Now he came back and he should. The quarterback who was great that night won the MVP. Clyde should have won it. He was just sensational. But can he handle the SEC? How many? I don't think Clyde's ever going to be a 20 carry a game guy. I think 10 to 12 carries a game is probably where he settles in. And if he's got a hot hand, you can ride him. But I think it's going to be surprising to some that he can run with power, even though he's a smaller guy. But his lower body, his legs are super strong. You see it when he does any of the videos when he does squats and power cleans and stuff. And he can move. He moved piles. But his strength, he's got track speed and he has got wiggle, and he'll PlayStation spin move you, and you'll be tackling air. I mean that's his strength, and he'll be great at it too, man. But I just don't think he's the guy you're going to say, here, go carry it 22 times, in College Station and get like with Darius, carry it 30 times, give me 285. Like that's just, Clyde's never going to do that. Chase, sorry if I asked. Good to meet you on Saturday too, by the way, Chase. Sorry if I asked already, but is Traore not cracking the starting five? No. Traore was really disappointing in spring, and I don't know how he gets on the field. I mean, God forbid if there's an injury, but I don't know how you put him at left tackle in the SEC. I don't see it. Gabriel says, good morning. You should name your show Morning with Matt and Drew. Maybe so. Good morning, Matt. Good to see you Saturday at Taste. Tried the Boudreaux's. It was amazing. Good to hear that, Wayne. Thank you so much. Boudreaux's, y'all check it out. Bloody Mary mix, margarita mix. It really is awesome. So, again, I'll take all your words for it on the Bloody Mary mix because I don't do it, but I don't do Bloody Marys, but I love the margarita mix. And I posted a picture. Y'all gotta go check it out. They had these big handles of vodka and tequila right next to the stacks of Boudreaux's. It was pretty sweet. Let's see. Lori, good morning. Jeremy, headed to Dallas for the game. Any advice on things to see or do? Never been there. Jeremy, if you want a phenomenal meal, go to Javier's. And I don't know if you're a cigar guy, but Javier's is the restaurant, and it's got a cigar bar attached to it. I would so highly recommend, man. Go have a cocktail and cigar. Make your dinner reservations, then go over have dinner. It's amazing. They have it's like high end Mexican, but it's amazing. I would compare it to conceptually how Louisiana Lagniappe in Baton Rouge is it's a Louisiana Creole type place, or Mestizo. Mestizo, how it's a Cajun Mexican place where it's you can get crawfish enchiladas and stuff like that. It's similar, but for Mexican food, and it's amazing. Just Javier's if you're looking for a place to go. Javier's, and then if you go into downtown Dallas, a lot of other people can tell you stuff. There's a great brunch place called Breadwinners, and I forget the name. What the building is that has the 360 bar, the rotating bar on top, but it's just a great way to see the city as well. Go up, have a cocktail. Kathy Hernandez, good morning. Robin, good morning. Andrew, Javier's, no. Yeah, Javier's no was great when it went. Did you say it was great or wasn't great? I mean, it's phenomenal, dude. I mean, I loved Javier's. But it's, I'm guessing you're using voice text there because Javier's is like Javiers. If actually, I'll tell you what's funny about Javier's. Hang on. So, hang on. Here it is. This is a great book. Boys Will Be Boys. It's Glory Days and Party Nights of the Dallas Cowboys Dynasty. This is like, if you just like books, sports books, this is phenomenal. This is every story about all the Irvin, Aikman, Emmett, all the party, and phenomenal book. Jeff Pearlman, really good author. But anyway, when Jerry Jones was hiring Jimmy Johnson, the way that story broke was Jimmy was coaching Miami, came in town, went to dinner with Jerry. They, of course, were teammates at Arkansas. And who was it? Was it Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless covered the Cowboys before it went to ESPN. I don't know if it was Skip. It was some national writer just happened to be at Javier's, and Jerry took Jimmy to Javier's for dinner that night. That's when they kind of consummated the deal for him to become the coach. Anyway, they wrote about it here. So Javier's great. Great. All right, let's see. Get to any more here. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to have to jump, y'all. Let me see if I can get one more in. High-end Mexican booze and cigars. Keep talking to her. I'm telling you, dude. Javier's is amazing. I can't recommend it highly enough. Like, I won't go to Dallas without making a stop there. It's amazing. I've been 3 times, and it's just as good every time I go. Yep, Charlie, they talk about the White House in there a good bit. Not the White House where the president lives. The White House was a place where Cowboys players during that era could go and, read the book. All right, let me jump, y'all. Y'all have an awesome day. AFR today, 3 to 6. Hopefully y'all can tune in. Appreciate you. If you would, hit the share button. I forgot to do that earlier. Doggone it. It's one of the reasons probably our number was lower today. That's my bad. I'm going to share it right now. Anyway, hope y'all will... let's see. Hope y'all listen to AFR later today, 3 to 6 as always. Anything else I have to tell you? Boudreaux's, of course, go pick it up. Alexander's, Calvin's, Calandro's, Mid-City Craft Wine and Brew. Canada's down in Houma, or boudreauxmix.com, boudreauxmix.com. Hit the, in the title of this post, you'll see the Boudreaux's link. Just, if you wouldn't mind, go over, like their page. That'd be a huge help. So, we'll see y'all today for AFR, and hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow for Morning Scone. Y'all have a great one. See ya.